Warning, the following video contains very lucky leads and somewhat sinister gameplay. Feel free to try to reenact what is shown, but do it at your own risk and do not expect similar results. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone! Yesterday I reached 405 subscribers, which of course is a very special number for every Pokemon Go fan, since that is the CP of a maxed out 100% Shuckle. So naturally I had to make a video showcasing it in Go Battle League. The problem though is that Shuckle actually isn't that good in most positions, so to run a Shuckle team, the other two Pokemon are the ones to carry the game. And to do that you must run 2 hard counters that can beat 3 Pokemon if they are lucky to come in right. And my first thought was Shadow Machamp, and then pair it with a grass type. So first I ran Shiftry lead with Shuckle and Machamp behind, but I only went 1 and 4 with that, so my second line was this that you see right here. Anyway, let's get into the battles. My first opponent in this set is Lekab, and he starts with a Shiftry, so this is pretty much the best lead I can ever run into. And then he safe switches into Azumarill, so already I'm in a great spot. I'm going to let this Ice Beam go through, since I want to have my Machamp double shielded against his last 2 Pokemon. And he's not going to be able to farm me down with these Bullet Seeds since they are double resisted, so he's forced to throw. And then he undercharges for some reason, so I'm able to reach another Leaf Blade, and this is very nice for me since he doesn't want to waste all of his energy, so I actually get the shield. And now I have a 1 shielded Machamp with a ton of energy against his last Pokemon, which is an Altaria. So at this point I'm in a winning position. So here is what I mean by sinister in the intro. I stop hitting because of course I want to showcase the Shuckle. And here, even though Shuckle is just it has 405 CP, it actually is even more tanky than Azumarill due to having the highest defense in the entire game. So it can tank moves very good, but it has terrible damage output. My next opponent is Adrian ML, and he leads with Obstagoon, so once again pretty much the best lead I can ever run into. And his haste switches into Azumarill and I go into Tropius. But this time I will actually shield the Ice Beam, since I want to have more flexibility against his last Pokemon that I don't know what it is. Because the Obstagoon, it's already pretty much gone, and Tropius would easily have dealt with it. But my opponent has a Galvantula, and at this point I know that I pretty much have won the game, since the Galvantula can be dealt with by Shuckle, and the Obstagoon will just disappear against the counters from Machamp. So here I'm not going to shield anything, and I will show the Shuckle for my opponent, and then I will finish it off with counters. So that was a quick game. Next up is a game against Texan in game number 3 of the set, and he leads with Galarian Stunfisk, so once again a fantastic lead, not quite as good as earlier but still good. And for the 3rd time this set my opponent safe switches into Azumarill to catch the cross chop. And this time, since the Azumarill took some damage from the cross chop, it is in farm down range for with only Razor Leaves, so it doesn't reach 2 Ice Beams, so that's why I shielded to have my Tropius at pretty much full health. And at this point it's a 2-on-2 where my opponent has a shield advantage, but Tropius will take it back. And now my opponent has double upped on Rock Slides, so I will catch the second one with Machamp, and hopefully he's got something that I can beat in the back, and it's a Shiftry. So at this point I know that I have won. So here is when I make a somewhat sinister play again. I don't shield that, just to make it so that I can show Shuckle for my opponent in the end. And there I also stopped using my Razor Leaves. So now Shuckle can bring down the Galarian Stunfisk. Even though these rock throws are double resisted, they are still going to be able to take it down. My next opponent in game number 4 is Hildorados, and he leads with Lantern. So typing wise, this is a neutral lead, but in reality, Machamp is going to destroy this Lantern since the sparks are barely doing any damage at all, and I'm going to shield all the charge moves. So I charge up a ton of energy, and right before he reaches a second charge move, I go for back-to-back cross shops, and I get both of the shields. So this is amazing for me, because now I have a big energy lead, and I will be able to farm down the Lantern, but my opponent switches into Venusaur, and Venusaur is not that nice to go up against with this team, since it beats both Tropius and Shadow Machamp, but I'm able to catch the Frenzy Plant, and then I will survive a Sludge Bomb. So I'm still in a good position, and I'm expecting the Lantern to come back, so I'm not throwing the Leaf Blade right away, even though I'm very low in HP. And my opponent is trying to farm down with triple resisted Mud Shots, but that's not going to work. And I get off one more Leaf Blade, and then I switch into Shuckle here in the end to let him get some action. And Shuckle has so high defense, so it's easily going to tank 2 Earthquakes, and then it will be able to take down this Galarian Stunfisk with a double resisted Rock Blast. The last opponent in this run is Danny Aguero, and he leads with Altaria. And Altaria is basically the Dream Crusher of this team, since if it is shielded twice, then I have absolutely no chance of defeating it. So I'm going to first bait and then go straight for the Rock Slide, because Machamp can actually win the one shield scenario. But my opponent knows this and shields twice, and at this point it's basically over. My only chance is that this Altaria stays in and let my Shuckle take it down low enough, and then that Tropius would have been able to finish the game against the 2 Pokemon in the back. But my opponent had different plans and sent in the Whiscash, and here you can see how tanky Shuckle is. It just tanks a Mud Bomb easily, but that doesn't matter, because this Stone Edge is doing even less damage than a Mud Bomb. So at this point the Whiscash has 100 energy, I need to absorb it somehow with the Machamp, and then I switch in Tropius, and there's no reason for my opponent to not throw the Blizzard, so I have to shield. But then we already know that the Altaria is still in the back, and on top of that my opponent has a Skarmory too, so this was basically over before it started. I had no chance in this last game, so my dream got crushed of going 5-0 with Shuckle, but it was still a very fun and amusing run. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to 2 of my favorite streamers who are also part of the Shuckle gang, meaning that they have 100% double move maxed out Shuckles, and these 2 are Adam the Power and HomeSliceHenry. Adam the Power streams in Swedish on Twitch, and HomeSliceHenry has made a cool Shuckle video, so I will put some links to these excellent battlers in the description if anyone is interested. Thanks for watching.